When you're getting ready to tie the knot, there are a lot of things as a couple you need to figure out. Some of them are fun and simple, and some are a little more complicated. Our YurView resident relationship expert, Dana McNeil, has some tips for how to talk about money.
Hi, I'm Dana McNeil, and I'm the YurView resident relationship expert. I'm here to help you be the best couple that you can be, to give you tips and tricks on how to be a master of relationship versus a disaster of relationship. First of all, you need to be talking about it, because so many of my couples are not talking about money because they're scared, right? Maybe I have debt from before we came into the relationship and I don't know how to talk to you about it. And I worry that my debt is my debt and it's not going to be our debt. And yet I know that you have an expectation that I'm going to contribute to our household, and I don't know how to tell you that I'm not sure I can because I have debt. And I like to take responsibility for my own things, so I consider it my debt and none of your business, right? It is your business because now we're getting married and we have some important things to figure out, like who of us is going to be the person that's responsible for taking care of the finances? Who's going to be paying the bills? Who's going to be the one that's logging on and checking into our retirement account or filing our taxes for us? Who's going to be gathering the receipts? Who's going to be the go-to person? Because it generally doesn't work for us to both be doing it and have no idea what's going on. That's how we get overdrawn, right? So we also need to talk about, how do we feel about putting things on credit? Because some of us have fears about getting into credit card debt. Maybe I did that when I was in college and I don't want to have that happen to me again, right? How much is enough? So if we start having children, if that's something we decide to do, how much money do we need to have a child? How much does it cost to have a child? Is one of us going to stop working or work less? How do I feel about that? What's important to me financially? Do we want to spend most of our money planning for retirement or building up our savings for the fact that one of us might lose a job? Or do we just want to have a glamorous vacation every year? What are our priorities about finances? And are we going to have more than one account? So a lot of my couples these days, they will have 3 accounts. They'll have individual accounts and then they'll have a joint account. And so typically I have my individual account so I can have my allowance and I can buy whatever fabulous shoes I want without you telling me that that was too expensive. And I'm still contributing to the joint account, right? So that's how we're paying for groceries and going out to dinner and buying gas for the car. But there's still something to be said about having some of your own independence and having some money that belongs to you that you don't have to account for with other people. That doesn't work for every couple, but we need to figure out what works for us. There's a lot of questions that we need to start talking with each other about, and a great idea is to sit down one Sunday over a fabulous brunch and show each other how much debt you have. Right? Before I make this commitment to you, I need to make a commitment to your debt as well. And I need you to be honest with me, and it's going to be vulnerable, but we're getting married. So we need to start having these conversations. There's no right or wrong answer, there's your answer as a couple. It doesn't matter what your parents did, it doesn't matter what your grandparents did, it's what makes sense for you as a couple. And the sooner you start talking about it, the sooner you can have what could possibly be an uncomfortable conversation under your belt, so you can start having them be more familiar and start having them be a regular part of what you're talking about in your relationship.
Great advice. If you'd like to ask Dana a question, follow us on Instagram and post your question there. And who knows, Dana may be talking directly to you on a future show.